What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Queen's Eye, coming at you today. All right, I'm gonna do a little video. I don't know how little it's gonna be, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And so, you know, a lot of my channel is about my spiritual journey and just giving you tips and tricks, you know, and insight as I go along my journey that may be able to help you somewhere in your journey, right? So I'm always talking to you guys about the shadow aspect. You know, what is controlling your life when you are on autopilot? And where did those thoughts and ideologies come from? Are they thoughts and ideologies that you want to be operating your autopilot? And if so, if not so, how do you go about changing them? So we all know when we're going through to stay focused on the goal, to make decisions that lead us closer to the goal we are trying to make, to assess everything, evaluate everything, and make sure that it lines up with what you're really trying to do. Unlike when we're in autopilot, we just do shit and hope it works. So in this shadow journey, I have been learning truths about myself, and I have discovered some hidden facts about myself that a lot of people, that I'm discovering a lot of other people have, that is affecting their autopilot. And even though they may be trying to change the program for the autopilot, it still goes back to the other autopilot, the one you don't want. So, and a lot of this stuff stems from our childhood, right? So we have issues. We have been raised by emotionally abusive and or neglectful parents. And so as you're doing your spiritual work, you're starting to see a lot of your autopilot, a lot of your reactions is learned because of your parents, and or it is earned as a generational curse. And the reason why I say it's earned as a generational curse, because maybe you did nothing to get it, but because you are the next in line, your parent shit falls down on you. So, as you guys know, I don't have a relationship with my parents. All right, my parents are, my father is deceased. He died when I was 18. And my mother, I don't have a relationship with her. At first, I thought I didn't have a relationship with my mother because my mother did not understand me. And so I'm not in the business of trying to make people understand me. You understand? I'm in the business of teaching, and if you get the lesson, you get the lesson. And if not, then that's on you, because the same way, you know, things are broke down in school, I try to break everything down. Like, that's what I do as a profession, as a hairstylist, as a barber. You know, when somebody comes in with the hair style that they want and they don't have it, I have to give them what they don't have. That means I have to create a solution. So I do that in all aspects of my life. So in being a spiritualist and doing the spiritual work, I saw that I had a lot of root chakra issues. So I started working on them. And as I started working on them, I had to start therapy because it was that traumatic for me to even do in the shadow work by myself. Like, I was a fucking wreck, mentally, just emotional, because I didn't understand how emotionally abused and neglected I was. And so because I never had real love, I've always seeked out people who treat me the exact same way that my parents did. And so as I'm doing my shadow work, I'm seeing this like, oh, this is a repeated pattern. These are repeated behaviors. Let's trace that back. This is a generational curse. So what other generational curses do I have or that are on me so that I can be free? Show me, universe. Show me, spirit. Show me, God. Show me whatever deity you believe in, right? That's the conversation I'm having with my deity. And so, or my God. And so, I wind up figuring out some things. But this is how I had to do it. I had to look at my siblings' life because I don't have the factor of talking to my mom, okay? I don't have that factor. I don't have the factor of talking to a dad. So I have to look at the people I do talk to, which is my sisters, right? So I'm looking at my sister's lives, and I'm seeing a repeated pattern of divorce, broken relationships, broken children, sexual abuse, a lot of sneaky link action, a lot of fucking. You know, even if you're married, you know, there's cheating, you know, either it's done to you or you were doing the cheating. You know, it was a lot of interracial situations in my family, so I had to assess all of these things. And so the common denominator was the missing links. And so I had to understand that like things attract into each other. So if my mom is broken, then my dad is broken. Because my mom trauma bonded with her children, then she must have trauma bonded with my dad. So then that started to make me look at my dad's life a little bit more. Because at least my mom was around so I could ask some things as a child. I have not been able to ask my mom anything about her life as an adult and get a real answer, okay? Because she's emotionally abusive and neglectful, okay? So she's cold-hearted. She does whatever she's done, she's sitting on it, or she thinks she has. But one thing that I believe, whatever you do in the dark will come to light. And so the spirit, if you were not willing to tell your story, the spirit will tell the people that needs the truth from you, your truth. You can look at history book after history book, story after story of people who've done things and thought they got away with it for years, and then out of nowhere, it just pops back up. That's what happens when people kill people. You know, if you kill someone and you think you got away with it, like, it will come back out. Even if you're dead and gone, the truth will be exposed. Because that spirit wants its justice. Because we are spiritual people. We know that we were spirit, then body. So when we die, we go back to spirit. There's just no more body. It doesn't mean we don't exist. So let's move forward. So I'm doing the shadow work. I'm in this therapy, you know, and I'm finding out things. And so, again, because I can't talk to my mom, I'm comparing. This got to be an apple. This got to be an apple. So I looked at the generation before her, and which would be her mother, and I started to see a pattern. So that meant that my mom It don't skip generations. Generational curses don't skip generations. People, traits and characteristics skip generations. Somebody can have twins, one generation don't have to have twins. Somebody can have a blue-eyed kid, 2 generations later, another blue-eyed kid come out, okay? Characteristics, physical characteristics can repeat, can skip, can alternate. But generational curses, read the scriptures. It says the sins of the father falls upon the kids and the kids' kids. So that means it's not only going to hit the kids, it's going to hit the grandkids. So whatever you do going to hit 2 generations after you. And so whatever they do is going to hit 2 generations after them. And so on. All right, so you're always going to be a generation over you. So when you reincarnate, you got some kind of karma to come into, okay? Because they don't understand nothing because they have not studied to show themselves approved. Now, I'm not a Bible beater. I know the scripture because it is the same in so many other texts. The things that I repeatedly say, my foundations, okay? What you do in the dark will come to light. What goes around comes around. Generational curses hit every generation. Has a generational curse from the generation before. That's what karma is. God said he created the heaven and earth. So what do you think? If heaven is where we going and ascending to try to strive to, what you think earth is? Our karma, our hell, our what we put out there is what we get back here on earth. So, in my shadow work, I'm like, my grandmother has 4 kids, 4 different dudes. My sister, all her baby daddies different. My 2, their baby dad, they're different dads. My sister, she only has the 1 kid, but if she was to have another kid, because she's not with this dad no more, to have different kids. So where you telling me all your kids are the same? So I'm like, no. So I started to dig. And all my life, I knew of my little sister not being my dad's kid, my alleged dad's kid. Well, as I'm digging and looking at me, I look just like my alleged father's brother, his brother. So if I look like his brother, and that's probably means if I look more like my dad's brother than my dad, who do you think my dad would be? I rarely see female kids come out to look like their male uncles. I see female kids come out to look like their female aunties and other female cousins. But to cross the gender line and me look exactly like my uncle as a female, that got to be my daddy. So see that shadow work, you identified the generational curses. So if my baby sister's dad is different, my dad is different, then my sister's dad got to be, we all have different dads. So the same generational curse that her mom lived, she lived, even though she's in denial, because she's an absolute liar and she has this Mary of Jesus complex. And then all of her kids, all of her children all of their kids have different dads. So then I went back, and since I figured that out, tried to talk to her. Of course, emotional abuse and neglect. She wants to, and I can show you the texts. She's like, oh, I never slept with nobody else. But funny how I look more like my first cousins from him, this uncle I look like, than my other first cousins. And I feel sorry the most for my aunt because she stayed married to my uncle, probably knowing all of this. Because her and my mama ain't friends. They don't talk. But my mama and her oldest child are best of friends. They thick as thieves. Now, why is that? Because you got to keep a close eye on your enemy. You got to keep a close eye on your competition. But that's that shadow work. You know what I'm saying? That's that shadow work. And how I knew about the side piece shit, my mom was actually in this whole side relationship with my uncle. Okay? And the reason how I know this is because how many times have I been okay with being a side piece? I'm also not even consciously knowing I'm into poly relationships. I've been in an actual poly relationship. It didn't work out for me in that situation because of I believe in equality. If you can have multiple women, I can have multiple men. And so if we're going to be in poly, we're going to be swinging poly, okay? We're not going to just be playing poly. We're going to swing that motherfucking shit. You feel me? But anyway, moving forward. Because all of this is my truth. And I wouldn't be comfortable enough to speak in my truth and stand in my truth. You understand? Now, being poly with that swinging shit, because my mom was married, my uncle was married, those are swingers. That's another generational curse. And that's why now I'm trying to figure out how to have a real relationship with one person, no side pieces on his part, my part, and let it be unconditional love involved. I'm looking for a person that I can have that with, because that's how you break the generational curses off of your life. All right? Also, there are other generational curses that I had to discover. And that's one reason why I had to learn. The reason why I've never jumped off at no chick about her dude or my dude is because if I did, that would be shameful according to my family and their beliefs. Because if they didn't feel shame, they would have admitted that I am my uncle's and my mom's love child. But there's still shame, so that was another generational curse that I had to break. I'm only telling you guys this not because I want to be shamed, not that I want to bring shame to my parent. My purpose in life, why God put me here, was to expose that your leader, the people who have allowed my parent, my mom, to lead her, she has led y'all astray. And God is giving you an opportunity to redeem yourself from the lies that she has infiltrated you with. As a pastor, whatever she has poured out of her mouth, because she is fake, is flawed, and you embracing it adds to your flaws. And that's why I have to stand in my truth. All of those people who knew what happened, knew whose child I was, and they said nothing, they did nothing to fix it, all of those people are no longer around. Even the two dads, they're not even here to say their piece, to give their blood, to say their behalf. You know why? Because when you hide behind something that is toxic to the point that it changes an entire family, entire decades, it affects multiple houses. Of course it's gonna have to be exposed. The more you hide, the more more is going to be exposed, the bigger the explosion. That is what it is. But a part of healing yourself, a part of, doing your shadow work is getting to this point where you can say the consequences of, these people's actions have led me here. And when I'm in autopilot, I am reacting to that trauma, to that drama every instance. So you have to change the program, because your body is not going to change when it switches on to autopilot or not. It's not. It is designed to do that. It's not going to buck its programming for you. You have to change your thought process about it. I don't have to live in the shame. I didn't do anything. That was their nasty asses, not me. At least when I was doing my poly thing, I wasn't able to have children. No children were conceived of it. It doesn't make it right, but it does make it a little smoother to go down. It doesn't involve any kids. A lot of our parents used us as pawns because they were pussies. They were cowards. They threw stones and hid their hands, and it affected us. It affects our magic now. It affects our ability to manifest now. Because deep down, we still feel like we have something to be ashamed of, or we've done something that we should still be punished for. And we've not done anything. There is no punishment. It's just corrupt thinking and programming that has been implanted in us. I speak my truth for all the kids who have been aborted because their mom and dad was out there doing shit. I speak my truth for all the kids whose parents have abused them or emotionally neglected them because of their choices. Because they chose not to heal their shit. I'm not ashamed of who I am. They are ashamed of me. And they taught me to be ashamed of me because they were ashamed of me. I didn't get there by just, oh yeah, this is my truth. No. Tears, therapy, breaking relationships, cutting people off. That's how I got here to speak and stand in my truth. Not that standing in it makes me feel any much better, but eventually I can help a person who don't know how to move forward. Your story can help a person that doesn't know, that's going through what you went through. That's why we go through our shadow work. Shadow work is an awakening itself. It hurt. It hurt to find that out. It hurt to find out that 90% of the people who probably don't like me and my family don't like me not because they got to know me or something that I've done. They don't like me because they held me accountable for my mom's actions, but not her. They embrace the sinner or the predator and victimize the victim. That's what they did. That's why I needed therapy. I'm in therapy because I have found out that I have complex PTSD. Now, PTSD is something that soldiers have for being in a war zone for a short amount of time, but complex PTSD is for people who have been in a war status in their mind or environment by someone that they love and trust, i.e. a caregiver or a parent, and have been abused their entire life. It's worse than PTSD. It's so complex. It is complex. And I feel like the results of having this and allowing it not to be controlled is the complex part, and it complicates things. But luckily I was spiritual and doing spiritual things that helped me unwrap my mind without losing my mind. Because to know your truth and go to a person and they lie to your face will make you lose your mind. It's designed that way. But it did make me lose my mind. It made me start to think, well, if you're that sick and twisted, then let's just let the whole world know. Just stand in your truth, that you're an absolute liar. And I'm okay with that. Because that's what shadow work do. I ain't got to carry your burdens. You can have them. Have your shame back, because it's not mine to bear. And I just want to set the record straight for those that didn't know, so they can make their own decision instead of allowing you with your lies to make the decision. Now, I know y'all probably like, well, I know this person watches me. My mother watches my shit. Her and her little dusty ass husband. But I need them to know. I don't believe your lies. You can say whatever you want to say. The Spirit of the Most High has shown me who you are. And your words will never change what the Most High have shown me about you. It is what it is, y'all. That's the fact and the reality of it. You know, and this person, you know, has tried to make me seem crazy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm socially awkward because you abused me. It is a fact. But it's okay. Because you know, God may sit high, but he look low. And if you ain't faced your justice before, you should be worried. If you've been able to get by with your shit this long, you should be very afraid. But you ain't got no fear, because you ain't fearing God. You think you are God. And that's what, you know, and even just going back to the shadow work, don't get so consumed in being right that you put yourself over the Creator. Yeah, we are a God because we are of the Creator, but we are not the only Creator. We are the Creator of our reality based on our ego, based on our mind, our soul, and our body. But the universe, and you heard that, that was a confirmation, but the universe holds us responsible. God holds us responsible for all of them. That's why it's important for us to deal with our shadow aspect. So instead of us reaping karma of lessons, we can reap karma of blessings. If your purpose was put here to destroy a false reality, be okay with that. You don't need therapy for that. I didn't need therapy for that. That's why the fuck I fired my therapist. You trying to therapize me up right on out my purpose. I just need you to therapize me up out of my parents' fucking shit. Not out of my purpose. And that's why I fired her ass. This lady gonna tell me, like, people don't wanna, some people don't want to, they're not ready to accept that truth. I said, we live in 2021. The truth is exposed all around us. Why are they still alive if that is the case? If God didn't want them to know, they wouldn't be alive in 2021. Just the bottom line, this is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of knowledge. So if they don't want to know, they don't want to know. But they'll say whatever they want to say. They'll, you know, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. You know, and then, so I decided to speak my truth, you know. I tried to go to these people and have civilized conversation and keep it between us. Keep it in the family. Keep it in my parent household. You understand? Keep it within, but no. That wasn't good enough because there were lies. Like, no, I would never, but you did. Because there's no self-accountability. It's living in that false reality, you know, and that's why you work on your shadow side, so you're not them, so you're not living in a false reality that you've created as an escape mechanism for that situation. When your escape mechanism for that situation becomes your life, that is a sickness. Period. So I don't live that reality. My reality is God is my Father. That is my new reality. I don't want that reality. I'm not ashamed of it, though, because, hey, biologically, that's how I got here. You know, and I had reached out to an aunt that the family secret with her is she allegedly slept with the same uncle that fathered me. So I called her up. You know what she did? What every Christian would do. She took the side of my mother and how, you know, we will always be family no matter what. And that I should call my mom and tell her I love her because she didn't have to have me. Who the fuck said that I was happy or ecstatic to live in this existence with all of these snakes around me? And just because she had me, that mean I owe her to say I love you? Nah, hell nah, I don't owe her shit. I don't owe her a motherfucking thing. Not a thank you, not a hello, not a goodbye. If you can't be real with me and tell me where I come from, because it's something not right when you don't want your own child to heal from what you did to your child. That's a sick fucking person. This person is on the pulpit, call themselves leading the church out. And on top of that, she married to a man that's out here leading this man's church. My birth certificate father's church. Nobody see nothing wrong with that. She done been with his homeboy, his brother, him. The homeboy took my daddy's stuff when he died, but it was paid for by my uncle, who is my biological father, and all of this, so my mama can have what she had with my dad with another dude, which is that doppelganger energy. And no law enforcement is investigating this that I know of. I hope they do, and see it for what it is. How convenient that everybody dies and all the money goes to her and her boyfriend, my daddy ex-homeboy. Something ain't clink in the milk, but hey, who am I? The product of it. And that's why I just, for short, my dad is God now. But you have to be okay with living your truth. You know, and that's the truth I have to set myself free from, that I am working on setting myself free from. Be careful who you allow to lead and pour into your life. Because everybody ain't ordained by God. There's a lot of people that are ordained by man or themselves. And my mom is definitely ordained by herself. Or man, because she screwed her way there. Because there's no way, there is no way she could read the same Bible, be on a pulpit, be asked to reveal her truth multiple times. This lady would rather take it to her grave and think she gonna still go to heaven, because that's what she believes in the heaven. What a tangle web we weave when we have mental illness. Now, I don't give a fuck if she say I got mental illness or not. It's not even, how can I let a person who is an absolute liar discredit me when they not even standing in the truth? That's why I be telling y'all these things. That's why these messages resonate, is because I'm actually going through this shit. I just have never really put all the pieces of the puzzle together for you guys like I have now. But I have to stand in my truth. I have to stand in what I am healing from to be able to help people heal. I'm not the only person that has a fucked up mama. My mom's not the only fucked up pastor on the pulpit, but that's where the world went wrong. And in the age of Aquarius, it's time for the tables to turn. It's time for the dogs, for the snakes to be exposed. And so the real humans, the ones that's really trying to coexist and be the best version of themselves, so we can continue to vibrate higher above the snake bed, so them shits can't touch us. It is what it is, you know. And a lot of parents stayed in low vibrational energy. They did a lot of low vibrational things. And they confused material wealth with vibrational status. And it's not that. Some of the greatest and highest vibrational people don't have a lot of materialistic things. Not saying they don't have access to them, they ain't never had them. They just choose. When you get to a certain point, you realize that money is just a tool. And whether you have it or not, because you are a divine creature, all your needs will be met. And if you really doing right, you'll not only will your needs be met, but you will be blessed abundantly. And that's because it's not a lot of people that's trying to raise their vibrations, especially in the world around you. As a whole, yeah, there is a wave. But do you know 4 million people that's talking about vibrations? Do you know 300 people that's talking about raising their vibrations? Because the gate to stupidity and ignorance is wide. And the gate to, real connection to the divine, real ultimate life is narrow. And they're not willing to let go of things so they can fit through the gates. They holding on to past lovers, money, cars, houses, grudges, lack, generational curses. See, all of that stuff is energetic cords. It's going to keep you from walking through that gate. It's like bungee cords. You're only going to get so far for that shit. Snatch your ass back. They're never going to make it through the gate. And so when they see you getting closer to that gate, without all them cords on you, you become their target. Because if they can snatch you and get hold to you, when them bungee cords get to the end and snatch their ass back, it's going to pull you with them. That's what they want. That's why I'm speaking my truth and exposing them. So now, people won't have them hiding behind them, so they sneak up on me to grab me. People will let their ass be seen. So I'll know how to maneuver to get through them gates. Oh yeah, it's very deep. But that's the reason, all of my relationships have been affected by this, So that's why I have to speak my truth, so I can know, so I can constantly remember that I don't have to live that. I can choose different. Is the choices that I'm making now still contaminated or influenced by that? Or is the decisions that I'm making now influenced by the fact that I want to move forward and leave all of that on their plates where it belongs? It doesn't belong on my plate. It doesn't belong on my auntie's plate. It doesn't belong on my cousin's plates. It doesn't belong on my other cousin's plates. It don't belong on my grandmother's plate. It belongs on their plate and their plate only. Because when they was doing what they were doing, it was only them two around. But that shit is on everybody's plate because people don't want to take accountability, so they serving up their shit to everybody. And I'm tired of eating your shit. So I'm letting everybody know, don't eat that. That is shit. It is what it is. They can be whatever they want to be. But as a light being, I shine a light on where shit is so you can take fucking responsibility if you want to step in shit or not. You don't allow nobody to fucking put shit on your plate like you don't have a choice. You have a choice. And I'm waking people up to free will, starting with my family. You can free will continue. You can free will believe the truth, or you continue to be in this motherfucking bullshit illusion and facade that these two have created. It's up to you. But I'm off of it. You see how that works? See, they when you are on your spiritual path, people not going to understand why you do what you do. But you have to be okay with doing what you do for you. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm not sharing this story because I want to gossip and and I'm better than them. No, I am better than them because I am choosing to live in my truth. And my truth is that I came from fucked up shit. And I don't have to be fucked up because that's where I came from. Me exposing them allows me to be free of that burden. Me holding this secret that is festering. Everybody felt it. The family was affected by it. But ain't nobody want to say nothing. Because of religion. Because of, oh, I got so many logs in my house. Y'all motherfuckers got logs in y'all eyes. I don't. I see clearly. Clear. See, the reason why I can say something is because I took the time to pick the logs out my eyes. I admit the shit that I've done. Where do you think I got it from? If I've been raised in a church, then it had to be DNA coded in me, bitch. Get your shit. And if you don't think it's DNA coded, look at the pattern. It's my mother, my sisters, my mother's mother. Come the fuck on. Let's not click inside me. Let's not click inside me. Ain't that the damn meme? I always wanted to do that. That was cool. But for real, it's some real shit. All right. So again, hopefully parts of this, story, this message will help you live out your truth. And even if nobody understands it but you, it's not up to them. It's not for them to understand. If your purpose in life is to live in your truth and to expose certain people that have been lying and being deceptive for so long, then guess what? That's what that is. The ascended master Jesus had to walk in his truth. He had to expose Mary because everybody wanted to say that Mary miraculously got pregnant. He had to expose that. That's why he gave his lineage on Joseph's side, not Mary's side. But Mary had to keep that image. Oh, I was a virgin. I just accidentally got pregnant. Like I woke up and an angel impregnated me. Either you was fucking demons, which is weird, and or you been fucking somebody else. Because every child that came, that's been in this incarnation, had to be birthed through a vagina, period. Except for the first two. Everyone after Adam and Eve came through the vagina, period. So Mary, mother of Jesus, that doesn't work anymore. You have been exposed. Where is Maury when you need him? You are not Jesus' mother. I gotta go, y'all. I know I'm being petty right now, but I just, I gotta entertain a little bit too. But yeah. So do your shadow work. Let me know in the comments. What generational curses are you breaking off of your life? What steps are you taking to break these things off your life? Because it's not easy, Let me know. How has your family been reacting to you breaking your generational curses off your life? How has your family been reacting to you as you, have been standing in the truth of who you are, or what you know? You know what I'm saying? How has your family been, reacting? How has your life changed? I would like to know. I've told you guys a lot, and I just want to be real, and I want y'all to be real. I want to be a human. I want to be an ascended master, and I can't do that if I'm living in a false reality that somebody else created. This still don't make sense. So, peace, light, and love. Till the next time.